In the next Mystic Summon lineup preview, we've got pretty much confirmation of a special Mystic Summon where you can select any ML5 as long as it's not ML Aria, Light Tenebria, or ML Mercedes. I guess Light Mercedes. So as long as it's not the three most recent ML5s, you can select any ML5 to summon from. So let's take a look at a tier list to see what you should be summoning for, if at all. Because the thing to consider is that when you summon for these old ML5s, you'll be missing out on new ones, and the new ML5s have been really, really strong. We've got, first up, Lady of the Scales, Insane Unit, S tier, Witch of the Tenebria, S tier, Disciplinary Prefectaria, really good unit too. Bossaruka, Insane Unit, Peira, Hua Young, both really good. Teo, good for cleave. So, like, it's really hard to justify passing up on new ML5, so make sure you keep that in mind when you're rolling. The first tier here is S tier, and for S tier, these are just units that I think are probably as strong as new ML5s that come out. Like, they'll at least be pretty worth the investment, even if a strong ML5 comes out. I would still say you probably don't want to roll for these anyways, unless you can make sure you can get the next ML5, just because you never really know. Also, of course, you can just wait for the last week of the custom and see what the last ML5 is. No need to roll immediately. First up is Bossaruka. Bossaruka is still just super, super strong. Her ability to force you to hit her, unless you have AoEs, just makes your entire team so tanky because, yeah, they're not going to be able to like get hit unless the enemy team has a ton of AoEs. And she's really hard to kill. Her S3 gives her such a big barrier. You can give her Rocket Punch Gauntlet or MOAS for more damage, or just build her POV for more bulk. And her Death Break is annoying. Soul Burn for dual attack. She's got a lot in her kit. Great defense and a lot more damage than you would expect. New Moon Luna is still super, super strong. Her Soul Burn S3 is just so broken. Full Strip, Seal, unbuffable. Also, even if you can't build her super, super fast, you can run her a little bit slower at like 250, 270, and it still works fine. Like in Arena, Guild War, there's some situations where you do want her slow. And then you could, even for like RTA, some people run her a bit slower with a lot more bulk. So she's definitely a really flexible unit. I think just her S3 alone is just so ridiculously strong that she'll always be useful in some capacity. There's Spirit Iceline, absolutely insane DPS. Her S1 just does so much damage, and the first Soul Burn being free, as long as you have a buff, you get the free attack buff. Soul Burn at 50% bonus damage, then you can immediately S3. She's just such a good DPS and definitely worth picking up for all PvP content pretty much. ML Onav, her S2 passive is just great. One of those units that has a really, really strong passive and sticks around for a long time just because of their passive, where she has her pen res, and there's so many pen units in the game. Looking at the most two recent collab units, Frieren and Fern both have pen. She's got two builds. Her full tank Progress build is more popular right now. Her Bruiser one, a bit less so, but still fine. She is in the coin shop right now, though, so make sure that you're not going to just waste your mystics when you could just buy her from the coin shop. Other coin shop stuff coming up, I think it's like, you can check on Cecilia bot, but I think it's like Hellion Lua, Teo, Peira, something like that. Bystander Huayong is coming soon to you. I don't know the exact order. And then S- tier, these are both S tier units. It's just both of them provide fixed damage reduction, and while they are both S tier units, I think with the context that you have to skip, not skip, but like you're taking Mystics away from the next ML5 or the one after that, just future ML5s in general, I think you could probably get away with just having one and saving your Mystics for a future ML5. Like, having nice both is definitely nice. Even in RTA, you pick one, or the enemy picks one, you can just pick the other one. Sometimes in Arena Guild War, you want the different elements, like you want a dark unit instead of a light unit, that sort of thing. And they do different things, but it's because you'd have to pass up on a future ML5 that I would say, if you have one, you don't necessarily need to roll for the other one, and just save your Mystics. Make Chloe, her S3, revive, give everybody defense buff, even the person that revives. Revive buff to anybody who's still alive. She's got healing on her S2. Her cycling is really good now too, with the cooldown reduction they gave to her S3. people are playing her pretty fast. You can also play her a bit slower if you want. She's just a really strong unit right now. Great cleanser, buffer, defensive type unit. And also her S2 gives you fixed damage reduction, of course, which is very prevalent. Renock, abundance, a bunch of other stuff. Fallen Cecilia has the same fixed damage reduction, so whatever you wanted Maid Chloe for against the fixed damage, Fallen Cecilia does the same thing. Instead of whatever Maid Chloe has besides that, she's got full strip on her S3 and also debuff transfer, so if somebody debuffs you, you can fling all the debuffs back, plus skill nullifier to your whole team, and also barrier to everybody at the start, basically a free protection set. And then after that, she's basically got Rise of Monarch. And then her S1 is pretty strong too, 100% provoke chance, you can soul burn it to ignore F-res. Definitely ends up being pretty useful. For A tier, I think these units are good. It's just hard to justify rolling them unless you have like a billion mystics because of how strong new ML5s tend to be. ML is still a really good opener. People are pretty much building her DPS with Uberius Tooth right now, but we have both Maid and Fsessi reducing the damage. The other thing with Peyra is that she is an RTA only unit. She doesn't really have any usage in Guild War or Arena, so that is one thing to keep in mind as well. Pretty much every unit up here can be used in Guild War Arena, and also these units too. So she is RTA only unit rather. Really strong opener though. And then Lionheart's Hermia, just the anti-counter slash duel slash extra attack unit. Good into stuff like Setsuka, who is pretty much everywhere in Arena and RTA and Guild War, I guess. So really nice to have around. Her buffs made her actually usable into units like Harsetti, where you don't just get stunned anyways for fun. You actually have the immunity buff now. So that is really, really nice. And then we have Bystander Hua Young. She's the anti-light unit. Really strong right now too, just because of how prevalent light ML5s are. Like Genesis Ross, you'll see him a lot, and you can just Hua Young into him. Also, her immunity to debuffs, some really strong debuffers right now, like Witch Namir Tenebria. She's great into her too in more controlled settings. Definitely a unit worth having on your team. Just keep in mind the cost. And then Conqueror Lilius, really good opener, but you need to be fast. Like, you have to take turn 1 or you're not doing anything, so that is the thing to keep in mind with Conqueror. If you can't take turn 1, you probably don't want to roll this unit, unless you want to pretend like you can take turn 1. Then there is Bellion, who's really, really good. The problem is you need 3F, or she is not a unit. Without 3F, this unit is, like, here. So if you have 3F and somehow no Bellion, and also have a ton of Mystics, you could consider rolling Bellion. Or if you didn't pick her up from the boss selector. It's worth mentioning, though, that we've gotten some copies at this point. We got MOAS to copy Rocket Punch Gauntlet, Strike of Aspiration for Benimar's Tachi, and Cure All Magic Wand for Guardian Ice Crystals. So maybe we'll get a 3F one soon. So 3F is a more recent artifact, so we'll see about that one. And then there's the B tier. There's a ton of units here. And honestly, B and C tier are kind of just one tier. I just wanted to not have 3 rows in a tier. These are just all units that I think are good. It's just I wouldn't spend like mystics on them. I'll kind of quickly go over some of them. Like Kangai after his EE, really, really nice. His ability to deal meaningful damage on his S2 while building full bulk is nice. Plus the free stats from it just makes him easier to gear, because before people were building him like with damage, and now you don't need to. You just build him full HP and it's fine. And Bride Witch's Area, mainly for Arena, insanely strong Arena unit for cleaves and even turn 2 cleaves. It's just her utility in her S3 of Death Break, Strip, Unbuffable is, and also dealing good damage at the same time, is completely unmatched. Nobody else does that. Plus she has Extinction and the bonus hit chance. So even now with Setsuka running around, she's still super, super strong, which a lot of other units can't say. Sylvain Sage Vivian, really strong DPS. Her debuff immunity is nice, and then her healing and -1 turn to all allies on her S3 is a bit harder to use, but still nice. And her double hit on S1 makes her deal insane damage, especially if you soul burn it. It's just 2 giant AoE nukes, pretty much. She was really meta in Guild War last season into a lot of those Renock defenses, and you still see those here and there, so she's still pretty decent right now. Ruel with her EE, just really annoying. Her S3 was already super strong, and now it goes on 2 units, so that's definitely something. She's a pretty strong unit in RTA, just keep in mind whenever you pick her, your games are going 90 turns. DJ Bassar, anti-shield unit, barrier inversion, pretty solid cleanser too. He is, like, as an opener, weak compared to some of the other openers, but he's still pretty solid. Sea Phantom Politis, anti-focus / fighting spirit unit, a bit outclassed by some of the other openers, but still a solid unit. Anti-cleave unit, DDR, still good against slow people. Bisleufine, she's got her protection build, her protection tank build, and her bruiser build. Both are still fine depending on the situation. Hopseg got her buff. Her S2 does ridiculous damage into shields now, and plus with her EE, you're guaranteed the S2 into S3, but she does kind of, like, stop doing things after those first 2 turns. Definitely a unit that can be picked at, like, the last 2 slots, depending on what the draft is looking like, though. And Straze, he deals so much damage, even if it's Pen Frenzy, sometimes he just one-shots your entire team. Just make sure you don't use him into stuff like Setsuka or Lady of the Scales. Straze is pretty much vanished from Arena, just because of how rampant those 2 units are, but he's still usable in RTA, and he's still usable here and there in Guild War. You still see some pretty outdated Harsetti defenses sometimes. And then we're not going to go over C tier. Like, these units are all fine. They're, like, fine / good. Honestly, Harsetti I put down here just to have a separation. I didn't want an extra row in B. And the D tier is the please save your mystics. None of these units are worth rolling at all, like, not even worth considering, I would say. But that's it for the tier list. The main prize here is probably Bossarunka. I'd expect she's the ML5 that most people are probably missing out of all the S tier ones. Like, New Moon Luna was just in Coin Shop. Emily currently in Coin Shop. And then some of these are older ML5s, so I would expect more people to have them. But do keep in mind that we have new ML5s coming still. I'm not sure, actually, if they're going to run another rerun after the special Mystic banner ends. Let me see what they did last time. Nope, last time it was surrounded by new ML5s. What about the time before that? That was also surrounded by new ML5s, so I have no idea. Well, there was one time where they surrounded it by reruns. It was rerun into special into rerun. So that might happen. We might not actually see the new ML5 after this. There's no way of really knowing, but it's still worth just keeping in mind that you want to make sure that you're rolling a unit that has good value.